O sea, tú tratas de escuchar y igual, o sea, si estás escuchando toda la noche, ya, o sea, trata de concentrarte en todo lo que estás haciendo. Igual, o sea, escríbeme, porque hoy estar, realmente te puedo escribir, ya. Y nada, cuídate mucho, porque me hables.
Okay, good evening, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, teacher, good evening.
Hi, yes.
Okay, good evening. We're going to start, okay? First, let me call the attendance, okay? As soon as you hear your name, please answer present. Let's see. Okay, where I cannot find the page. Okay, here it is. Okay, let's start with these people. Let's see. Becerra Jocabet is here. Jocabet Becerra, are you there? Okay, let's go to Rioja Feliz Mariela. Not here. Rios Delgado Ángela Lucía.
Yes, teacher, present.
Okay, I'm gonna call one more time. Becerra Jocabet, are you there?
I think she's connected.
Okay, yes, she's connected. She's online, but I'm afraid she cannot hear me or she cannot speak. I don't know what is happening. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, okay? If she speaks, I'm gonna check her attendance. Let's go to another list. Okay, let's see. Álvarez Matos Patricia, are you there? Okay, no. Barquero Mejía Karina.
Hi, this is Karina. I'm using my sister account, but actually I'm Karina. This is why the name is Gloriana Barquero.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. Cruz
Thank
Condor
you.
Carlos. Okay, not here. López Camila. Again, López Camila, are you there? Okay, I don't think so. Santalla Rivas Joel.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Santalla Rivas Roger.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Serrano Angulo Ana Belén. Okay, no. Cerrudo Carriaga Eloy Ricardo.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Terrazas Villarruel Bianca. Not here. Vargas Ramos Amilcar. Not here. Okay, let's move on to the next. I think it is this one. Okay, Chávez Merlo Milenka Verónica. Not here. Larrea Conde Alejandro.
Here present.
Okay. Navarro Orozco Alejandra. Not here. Saavedra Pedraza Orlando, sorry. Not here. Finally, Tito Salvatierra Miriam.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Okay, let's see. We're going to start, okay? Today we're going to practice with, we're going to continue practicing with the listening exercises, okay? So I hope you're ready. And one more thing, as I told you, I got this document, which contains a lot of information about the listening section of the TOEFL test. It also contains a lot of exercises, 6 in total, and the answer keys, their explanations, and also the way that you're going to be evaluated based on your answers, okay? So I hope you find this document really useful, okay? I'm gonna send it to the WhatsApp group as soon the class finishes. Do you agree?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
What about the rest? Okay, so you can use this document to practice. Take this document to your advantage, okay? You can practice whenever you want. You will have access to the recordings. You will have access to the answer keys. You will have access to the explanations. So I hope you may find this document really useful, okay? Now, let's start then. I'm gonna share my screen. Please let me know if you can see the screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, let's go there. We're going to practice. On Wednesday, we practice with passage number 1, okay? Now we're going to practice with passage number 2, okay? Before we start, please tell me, do you know the meaning of these words? Guys, I am asking you. Do you know
Carbon
the meaning of words?
dioxide and greenhouse gases.
That's it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, what
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, teacher.
no problem with these words then. Okay, I will assume that you will have you do not have any problem. Now, let's start. Please have at hand your piece of paper, your pen, so that you can take notes, and after that you will Mark your answers on that paper, okay? Let's see. It is a biology class, okay? Have that in mind.
Now listen.
Can you hear, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Part of the clock in a biology class.
Yes.
Okay, please, if there is any problem, any doubt, whatever, please let me know, okay? So that I can find a solution for you. Okay, with all that said, let's start. Please take your notes. It is important. Consider all the aspects that I told you about on Wednesday. Let's start.
Now listen to part of the talk in a biology class.
All right, now a common misconception about global climate change, commonly referred to as global warming, is that if we experience an unusually hot day in this area alone, then it's evidence of climate change. I just want to take a second to make it clear that changes in local weather is a weather-related event, not a climate-related one. Climate refers to the long-term, predictable atmospheric conditions of a specific area, not the conditions of a day or even a week for that matter. Weather refers to the conditions of the atmosphere during a short period of time. Weather forecasts are usually made in 48-hour cycles and are more concerned with daily and hourly predictions. Yes, Henry?
So you're saying that climate has more to do with seasonal changes. For example, like the difference between summer and winter in New York, while weather is more about the conditions outside today or tomorrow.
That's right, Henry. So now that we have established exactly what we mean by climate, let me ask you about the causes of climate change. I mentioned them in the last class.
Well, we started by talking about the Industrial Revolution, which began in the early 1800s. And that's when most of society started burning fossil fuels like oil and coal. And those fuels release a bunch of carbon dioxide into the air. And when there's more carbon dioxide in the air, more of the sun's energy gets trapped in the atmosphere. So the climate of the Earth warms.
Perfect, Jessica. Maybe I should have you teach the class. So yes, most of us know about the harmful effects of the burning of fossil fuels and the release of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But what causes climate change? There are two more. Henry?
I know one is solar intensity, and the other, I think, has something to do with volcanoes. Sorry, I can't remember exactly.
Well, like you said, the intensity of the sun does change, believe it or not. Changes in the amount of heat from the sun has been proposed as one explanation for past climate events. And the third you're thinking of is volcanic eruptions.
That's right. I remember now. The gases released during an eruption can change the climate over a period of a few years. But this type of climate change is usually just short term, right?
Right. Now, let's get back to fossil fuels. As Jessica mentioned, increased amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases are usually released through the burning of fossil fuels. Make no mistake, what may sometimes be reported in the media as debatable, there is no debate among scientists as to whether or not climate change is due to human activity. True, the strength of the sun's rays and the eruption of volcanoes can play a role, but there is an overwhelming amount of evidence that human activity, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, is to blame for the rise in global temperatures. And we are now starting to see the tremendous impact global warming is having on our environment. Between 2002 and 2006, Greenland lost almost 200 kilometers worth of glaciers. And as the glaciers melt around the globe, the sea levels rise, which threatens the coastal life of humans and the marine life of aquatic species. Now, many organisms on land are also being affected by the changes in climate. Temperature and rainfall play key roles in determining the geographic distribution of plants and animals. For example, researchers have shown that 385 plant species in England are flowering 5 days sooner than usual. In addition, insect species that pollinate and rely on these flowers are now arriving sooner than in previous decades. This mismatched timing of plants and insects could result in the loss of both species in the area. Small changes in the atmosphere have already made a big impact on species that rely on specific weather conditions. Most think of polar bears and their disappearing homeland of snow and ice. But this is just one of the many organisms threatened by global climate change, and that includes us humans.
Now, answer the questions.
Okay, guys, I hope you understood. We're going to see the questions now, okay? So be ready. Now, there you have 3 questions. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to answer, okay? All these questions. 1, 2, and 3. Then we will move on to question number 4. If you have any question, any doubt, whatever, let me know. I am here to help, okay? By the way, in question number 2, you just have to tick, okay? Or cross. That's it. You do not have to write anything on this chart, okay? If volcanic eruption is a cause, then tick it. If it is not, don't do anything, okay? If changes in rainfall is an effect, well, tick it. If not, leave it there. Okay, guys? Let's start. 3 minutes from now on.
Hi, Professor.
Yes, tell me, who was speaking?
Yeah, this is Karina. Sorry, I lost the connection for a few minutes, but do we need to answer these 3 questions?
Yes, you have 1 minute more.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys, time's up. Okay, I'm gonna give you 1 extra minute to work on question number 4. There you have. Let's start then. Okay, guys, time's up. Let's move on to the next questions, okay? Okay, question number 5 is about listening to a recording, okay? Please listen carefully. I'm gonna read the question for you first. Number 5. What is the professor implying when she says this? Listen carefully, okay?
Perfect, Jessica. Maybe I should have you teach the class.
That's it, please. Work on questions number 5 and number 6. You have 10 minutes. Okay, guys, time's up. Tell me, I need to know, how many answers were you able to get? How many questions were you able to answer, guys? Tell me. I'm gonna ask everybody. Eloy, what about you?
I answer all the question, but I have a doubt about one question.
Okay, you're going to tell me about it later, okay? What about Ale Larrea, please? How many questions were you able to answer?
I was able to answer 6 questions, teacher.
Nice, excellent job.
All of them.
Okay, if you have any question, any doubt, we're going to see the answer key in a moment, okay? So be ready. Gloria, please. Gloriana Barquero, are you there? I think it was
Karina, yes.
Yes, Karina, that's it. Sorry, I forgot. Tell me, how
Thank
many
you.
answers were you able to answer?
All of them. but I have doubts with question 4.
Okay, we're going to see, we're going to solve those questions, those doubts in a moment, okay? Be ready. Joel, what about you?
6 questions, teacher.
Okay, thank you, nice. Mariela?
6 questions, teacher.
Okay, nice. Miriam, what about you?
6 questions, teacher.
Okay. Lucia, what about you?
6 questions, teacher.
Okay, nice. Roger, what about you?
6 questions, teacher.
Okay, that's it. Okay, Bianca, are you there?
Yes, 6 questions.
Okay, please remind me at the end of the class that I have to check your attendance, okay? Because you are absent for me in the list, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Now,
Me too, teacher. I arrived late to the class.
okay, I'm gonna do it now so that we can, we avoid forgetting about it later, okay? Let's see. I think Milenka was here, but she's not able to speak. Okay, now Bianca is in this list, I think. No, this list. That's it. You are Terrazas Villarreal Bianca Alejandra, right?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, thank you. And here it is. Rioja Beliz Mariela, right?
Yes, teacher, present.
Okay. What happened to Jocabet? Is she there? She was here, I think, but now I cannot see her. Okay, I think she left. Now we're going to check her attendance as well. Okay, now we're going to start with the answer key, okay? So be ready where it is. I'm gonna read the questions and the options, okay, guys? This is a listening activity, so that's why I'm going to read. I'm gonna show you the answer key, but before that, please send all your answers to the chat box of Zoom, okay? In only one message. I'm gonna give you only 1 minute to do that, okay? Go on.
In the chat, teacher?
Yes, in the chat box of Zoom.
Directly chat or public chat?
Public chat, so that everybody can see.
Okay.
Teacher, in question 2, how are we gonna put the answers?
Just do the following, okay? Let me see. It is a chart, right?
Yes.
Okay, where it is? No. This is okay here. Okay. If the volcanic eruption is a cause, then write cause or effect, depending on that. I want to see 4 answers: cause or effect, cause or effect, depending on this. Okay.
Okay.
Only that, cause or effect. That's it.
Thanks.
Okay, while you send your answers, I will be reading I will be showing you the answer key. Okay, guys? Let's go there. Here it is. Now, I'm gonna read the questions, okay? So that you can listen to the questions carefully. Let's go there. Let me find the questions first, and we're going to start, okay? Here it is. Okay, guys, I think everybody has sent the answers, so we can start, okay? Let's see, here it is. There it is. Now I'm gonna read the questions, okay? Let's look at question number 1 first. The question was the following. What is the professor mainly discussing? The options are letter A, the pros and cons of climate change. Letter B, the causes and effects of climate change. Letter C, how to prevent climate change. Letter D, what happens when we burn fossil fuels? Now, please, I need a volunteer. I need a person, okay? I need someone to help me. Eloy, are you there?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm here.
Okay, please. What option did you choose?
Yes, I choose option B, but I miss when I miss it when I put in the chat. I put A, but it was a mistake. I chose B.
Okay. Let's see, what about the rest? Okay. Good, okay. Nice, nice. Pretty good job, guys. Everybody chose letter B. That's it. Congratulations. But now, let's find out why. Eloy, please, can you help me reading why letter B is the best option?
Yes. We can eliminate A because pros indicate something positive, whereas the professor does not mention anything positive about climate change. We can eliminate C as well because the professor does not discuss how to prevent climate change. And we can eliminate D because it is just relevant to a small portion of the lecture.
Okay, that's why letter B is the best option possible, okay? What was letter B? The causes and effects of climate change. In this question, you were supposed to find the main idea, the topic. What is the professor talking about, okay? In general, so the causes and effects of climate change was the answer. Okay, guys? Now, let's move on to question number 2. In this case, you were only supposed to mark with an X or with a tick. Volcanic eruptions were a cause. Changes in rainfall were an effect. Burning fossil fuels was a cause. And finally, temperature changes was an effect. In this question, you were supposed to look at the organization of the ideas mentioned in the recording, okay? That's the only thing you need to do. It was explicit, so you do not have to think about it so much. Okay, guys? Now, let's move on to question number 3. Please, I want, let's see. Joel, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, please, can you, I'm gonna read the question and then you're gonna help me reading the explanation, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna read the question now. Number 3. What is the difference between weather and climate? Select 2. You were supposed to choose 2 options from these choices, okay? Let's see the options that you had. Letter A, weather refers to conditions in the atmosphere over a long period of time. Letter B, climate refers to the forecast over 48-hour period. Letter C, weather is more concerned with daily or hourly predictions. Letter D, climate refers to predictable long-term atmospheric conditions. Okay, please, Joel, what option did you choose, or what options did you choose?
I chose letter C and letter D.
Okay, nice job, because those were the answers. Let's see about your partners. Okay. Nice, really nice, guys. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Most of you chose letter C and D. Now, let's find out why. Please, can you read the explanation?
Okay. This question forces you to rely on your memory of what the professor says, although you might be able to guess that climate definitely has to do with more long-term changes than weather does. The professor explains the difference near the beginning of the lecture when he says, climate refers to the long-term predictable atmospheric condition of a specific area, not the condition of a day or even a week for that matter. Weather refers to the conditions of the atmosphere during a short period of time. Weather forecasts are usually made in 48-hour cycles and more concerned with daily and hourly predictions.
Okay, now guys, is it clear why letter C and letter D were the answers to these questions?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. What about the rest? Tell me.
Yes, teacher.
It's clear.
Thank you for letting me know that. Okay, let's go to number 4. Question number 4. What is it about? I'm gonna read it for you, and then okay, let me choose who is going to help me. Let's see. Ale Larrea, please, can you help me reading the explanation after I read the question?
Of course.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 4. Let's see. Listen carefully. According to the lecture, what is an example of the effects of climate change? Letter A, polar bears have taken over all the glaciers. Letter B, insects don't know when to pollinate flowers. Letter C, a large amount of flowers are blooming sooner than usual. Letter D, many animals are searching for new homes. Ale, please, can you tell me what option did you choose?
I choose C, teacher.
Okay,
Till
excellent job. Letter C was the answer. Now, let's see what your partners did. Okay, letter 4. Number 4, okay. Okay, nice. Okay, nice. Okay, most of you chose letter C as answer, so it is okay. But the ones who chose another option, please, Ali, read why letter C is the answer to this question.
Okay. A and B might seem correct, but they are actually incorrect pieces of information that use words you heard in the lecture to try and confuse you. C is correct because the professor says, for example, researchers have shown that 385 plant species in England are flowering 5 days sooner than usual.
Okay, so was the answer implied or explicitly stated? Guys, tell me.
It was a detailed answer, teacher.
That's it. Fine. It was explicit. That's it, okay? You were not supposed to infer from anything, okay? The answer was there. So you had to write that answer. That's it, okay? Take care of that, okay? Be careful with that. Sorry for that. Okay, be careful. Sometimes the answer is there. You just have to listen carefully and take notes on it. That's the idea. Thank you. Let's move on to the last questions. Number 5, please. Before I'm gonna choose my helper. Let's see. Bianca, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna read the explanation after I read the question and its respective options, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So the question for this question is, what is the professor implying when she says this? Let's listen.
Perfect, Jessica. Maybe I should have you teach the class.
Okay, that was it. I'm gonna read the options now, okay? Letter A, she would rather have Jessica teach the class. Letter B, she thinks Jessica knows more than she does. Letter C, she is emphasizing that Jessica knows a lot of information. Letter D, she is annoyed that Jessica knows the answers and he doesn't. Those were the options. Tell me, Bianca, what option did you choose?
In number 5, letter C.
Okay, you chose letter C. Let's see what your partners did. Okay. Okay. Good job. Nice. Good job. Most of you chose letter C as answer. Now, for the ones who didn't choose letter C as an answer, please, can you read the explanation?
Of course, we can eliminate A and D almost immediately because this situation just are not likely to happen. And D is a bit too negative to reflect North American teaching values. B is also unlikely to be the case, as professors in universities are normally very knowledgeable and have extensive experience in their field. C is correct because Jessica just spoke and said a lot of correct information. So the professor is making a joke to emphasize that Jessica just accurately gives the class good information.
Okay. In this case, you were supposed to infer, but not only from what the professor said, but the tone, okay? The tone that the professor is using. Let's listen again.
Perfect, Jessica. Maybe I should have you teach the class.
Okay. Did she sound negative or positive?
Positive.
Positive. She's saying that in a positive way so that Jessica feels, I don't know, happy about her answers, right? That's it. So since it is positive, most of the options that you had in that question can be eliminated. That's it, okay? You can use also the tone of some people at the moment of speaking so that you can infer what they are trying to say. Okay, guys? So it is important in this case. Now let's go to number 6 then, finally. I want, please, I don't know. Roger, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, you're going to help me, okay?
Okay.
First, I'm gonna read the question. Question number 6. What does the professor imply about the role of human activity in climate change? Letter A. Humans are definitely largely responsible for climate change. Letter B. We should listen to what the media says about human activity and climate change. Letter C. Human activity is possibly part of the problem. Letter D. The media purposely tries to confuse people about issues. Tell me, Roger, what answer did you choose?
I chose letter C, teacher.
Letter C, human activity is possibly part of the problem. Okay, now let's see what your partners did with this question. Okay, 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 okay. Most of you choose letter A as answer, but now let's find out why letter C was not the answer, okay? For the ones who chose letter C or any other letter as an answer. Please, Roger, read the explanation.
Okay. Based on the professor's words and attitude, we can figure out that A is the correct answer. He says, make no mistake, what may sometimes be reported in the media as debatable. There is no debate among scientists as to whether or not climate change is due to human activity. Although he doesn't say explicitly that humans have a large role, he does say that the natural changes, such as volcanic eruptions and solar intensity, are just a small part of the problem.
Okay, so the answer for this was letter A. Humans are definitely largely responsible for climate change. This is what the professor tried to mention when saying, make no mistake, what may sometimes be reported in the media as debatable, there is no debate among scientists as to whether or not climate change is due to human activity, okay? So you have to infer from what the professor said. Here says, he doesn't say explicitly that humans have a large role, okay? Are guilty of these climate changes in the planet. But by saying that making no mistake, what may sometimes be reported in the media as available and so on, he's trying to say that humans have a large responsible in these changes. Okay, guys? So in this question, you were supposed to infer from what the professor thinks or says. Okay, guys? Now, guys, is everything clear, or do you have any question? Tell me now.
I think it's clear, teacher.
Okay, what about the rest?
It's clear, teacher.
Clear.
Yes,
Okay.
teacher, clear.
Okay, now, thank you for letting me know. Now, it is time to practice with another exercise, okay? Let's go there. Let's hurry up because we have little time to do this. Okay, let's go. In this document also you will find the transcript, okay? All what the professor said in words written on the paper, okay? So that you can follow it. So this document is really useful for you. Let's go to the next. This is it, okay. Before we start, please. Do you know the meaning of these words?
Yes.
Okay, what about the rest? Don't you have any problem with these words? Are they clear to you?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, nice. Consider these words at the moment of listening to the recording, okay? Let's go there. Listen carefully, take your notes, okay?
Now listen. It's part of a talk in an astronomy class.
Okay, so I'm sure you all know what meteors are, right? Those bright shooting stars in the sky that sometimes pass through the atmosphere and land here on Earth as hot rocks. Well, these alien rocks go on quite a journey to make it here. You see, these meteors start off as comets from other areas in space. The ice in these comets melt when they get close to the sun, which breaks apart and sprays millions of tons of rock and dust into the solar system. As each of the larger dust and rock particles enters the Earth's atmosphere, It creates a brief, fiery trail that is often called a shooting star, but is properly known as a meteor. Since the particles move at speeds of many kilometers per second, friction with the air vaporizes them at an altitude of between 80 and 130 kilometers. The resulting flash of light fade out within a few seconds. To be visible, these shooting stars, or meteors, must be within about 200 kilometers of the observer. On a typical dark and moonless night, you can see up to 6 meteors per hour, maybe more. Now, I don't know about you, but witnessing a shooting star is really a magical feeling. Anyway, the typical meteor is produced by a particle with the mass of less than 1 gram, no larger than a pea. How can we see such a small particle? The light you see comes from the much larger region of heated, glowing gas surrounding this little grain of material. Because of its high speed, the energy in a pea-sized meteor is greater than a bullet being fired by a gun on Earth. But as I'm sure you all know, these shooting stars, these meteors, sometimes land on the ground. Meteorites are pretty much found in 2 ways. First, are meteorite falls. Sometimes bright meteors or fireballs are observed to penetrate the atmosphere and find their way to the Earth's surface. The 2013 Chelyabinsk fireball in Russia produced tens of thousands of small meteorites, many of them easy to find because these dark stones fell on snow. People sometimes discover unusual looking rocks that turn out to be meteoric. These rocks are termed meteorite finds, the second way meteors are found. Since the 1980s, meteorite finds in the Antarctic have dramatically increased our knowledge of space and its materials. More than 10,000 meteorites have been recovered from the Antarctic as a result of the motion of the ice in some parts of that continent. Meteorites that fall in regions where ice accumulates are buried and then carried slowly to other areas where the ice is gradually worn away. After thousands of years, the rock again finds itself on the surface, along with other meteorites carried to these same locations. The meteorites in our collections have a wide range of compositions and histories, but traditionally they have been placed into 3 broad classes. First are the irons, composed of nearly pure metallic nickel iron. The second are the stones, the term used for any rocky meteorite. The third are the rarer stony irons, made, as the name implies, of mixtures of stone and metallic iron. Of these 3 types, the irons and stony irons are the most obviously extraterrestrial because of their metallic content. Pure iron almost never occurs naturally on Earth. Therefore, if you ever come across a chunk of metallic iron, it is sure to be either man-made or a meteorite. The stones are much more common than the irons, but more difficult to recognize. Often, laboratory analysis is required to demonstrate that a particular sample is really of extraterrestrial origin, especially if it has lain on the ground for some time and been subject to weathering. The most scientifically valuable stones are those collected immediately after they fall, or the Antarctic samples preserved in a nearly perfect state by the ice.
Okay, guys, I hope you understood. Now we're going to practice with some questions, okay? And then we're going to start. Let's go to the questions. Okay, let's answer these 3 questions first, okay? I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to answer this. Please. Okay, guys, time's up. Now, we're not going to have time to check out the answers, but since I'm going to send this document to the WhatsApp group, please finish these questions 4, 5, and 6, and then check your answers, okay? The explanations are there. Also, as you told me, here in this document, you will find 4 extra exercises. Here you can find question number 5, the notes, the recording is here. This is a link that will lead you to the recording itself. And then you will have the questions. And finally, here you will have the answer key, okay? So I think that this document will be really useful for you since it contains a lot of information about the listening section of the TOEFL test, okay? All the things you need to know about that section, particularly, you will find them in this document, okay, guys? So I hope you find it really useful. Okay, guys?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, guys.
Okay, teacher.
Now,
Thank you.
please, as always, I would really appreciate you complete this daily survey, and after that, you can leave. Okay, guys? Thank you for attending. See you next class.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
Teacher,
Thank
the
you,
audio that
teacher.
you sent first, is possible that you send us to the WhatsApp message?
All the recordings that we do today
Okay.
are included
Thank you, teacher.
in this document.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Bye-bye.